Welcome to the Candle Business Coach Podcast, a show about the craft of candle making and small business. I'm your host, Kirsty Allen, and I'm a candle maker, mum of three, and kindness advocator. Join me as I dive into all things candles and small business and deliver advice and tips to you in episodes every Tuesday and Friday. Are you on the list to get my daily motivation emails? Every day I'll send you a message that is designed to help keep you focused on taking action toward your goals. Sign up using the link in the show notes. This episode is brought to you by my free ebook, The Candle Business Marketing Kickstarter Kit. Inside this free ebook, you'll learn to identify your blocks of time to dedicate to your candle business. Plus, there are several tips and tricks for re-engaging past customers and attracting new customers into your business so you can grow your business and reach your goals. Check out the link in the show notes for your copy. Welcome back to the podcast, my friend. Today we have someone who's very, very special to me. And I know I say that about all my guests, but this particular person is actually one of my students from Candle Craft. Her name is Sarah, and she is from Mind and Soul Candle Co. And I wanted to have her on the podcast today just so she could share her perspective as being one of the students of Candle Craft, because as you know, doors are now open for Candle Craft. So if you're interested in joining the course, you are able to do so through the link in the show notes. So I thought it would be perfect to have Sarah on today just to share her story and her experience. So Sarah, would you like to tell the listeners a little bit about yourself?
Hi, my name's Sarah and I'm the owner of Mind and Soul Candle Co., which is a Sydney-based candle and home fragrance business. I've been making candles for almost a year now, so I'm relatively new, but I'm absolutely loving it.
That's so good. And it's so lovely that you went from having your obsession and passion about with candles to then creating a business, and now you're a year in, you're 12 months into the journey, which is just fantastic. So when you first started your candle business, what were some of the challenges you faced?
I actually had a lot of challenges with the stock itself. I had a lot of issues with like frosting and like tunneling and all that kind of stuff. So my biggest struggle was probably doing a lot of research and like misleading information, and like one website was saying this thing and one website was saying something else. So I was struggling with that a lot, and I was just trying to reach out to different suppliers and asking them like their opinions and stuff. So I think that was probably my biggest struggle, just trying to initially get the hang of making the actual products themselves.
And then, of course, once you master or get to a place where you feel comfortable that you've perfected your candles, you then have to then market your candles into the world and hopefully find customers that will want to purchase your candles.
Absolutely.
And to do that is quite a challenge in itself.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been difficult, like trying to get my name out there, but I know it's obviously a marathon. So I'm just taking it one day at a time and just appreciating the little wins.
Yes, and that's so important to celebrate your achievements along the way, because as you say, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And knowing that you've got that long-term vision is so important for your overall success, both personally and professionally.
Yeah, absolutely.
So where would you say you're struggling in your business and growth now, 12 months into the journey?
I think the thing that I'm struggling with most at the moment is just staying consistent with my social media, as I'm also a full-time corporate job, so 8:30 to 5:30. I do tend to struggle with finding the time to take the photos and post and think of captions and make TikToks and reels. But it is something that I am trying to work on, and using the tips from Candle Craft as well, which has been really helpful. So I'm getting there.
I love that. And it is about consistency and just putting one foot in front of the other and taking that imperfect action each day, rather than trying to do it all at once and then overwhelming yourself and burning out potentially. So what did you think when you first saw Candle Craft? You first saw the course being advertised. What were your initial thoughts?
I initially was unsure if it was going to be like right for me, because I was so fresh. I wasn't sure if it was like for people that had been in the game for a longer time than me. But once I did my research and I read about it and I spoke to you through DMs about what the course actually entailed, I just knew that it was definitely something that I wanted to invest in.
And were you looking specifically for a course to work on your candle business, or is this just something that you came across and just knew that it was right for you?
Honestly, I didn't know that there was business courses out there that were specifically related to candle making. I wasn't specifically looking for it, and when I saw it, I was like, I knew that it was what I needed to do. But yeah, I wasn't something that I had planned to do, but yeah, when I saw it, I knew that it would be exactly what I needed at the stage of my business that I'm at.
I love that. That's so good. So I guess this kind of answers, you've already answered this question, but what made you sign up for Candlecraft as opposed to doing it on your own?
I think I just needed some guidance. I'm young. I had no idea about anything in the business world. I was so new to the candle world and I didn't have many connections within the candle world. So when I saw that like it was going to be an opportunity to also network with other candle makers through the Facebook group, I just thought that it was the next step that I needed to take to excel my business to hopefully hopefully get it where I want it to be.
Yes, definitely, because it's a journey, and the course is it's the start of the ripple effect of creating a business that you become proud of. It's not, a get rich quick scheme that will give you all the answers and will get you to the finish line. It's about empowering you with knowledge and information and practical tips that will help you along your journey. And the community is a big part of that as well. So I'm glad that that was something that you found benefit from. Did you feel supported throughout the course?
Oh, absolutely. Like you are amazing. Like DM's always open. You're so supportive. And I also really found benefit from the Q&A session. So it was great to be able to have the Monday course and then really like let that process and take time to think of any questions and then be able to come together again on the Thursday and speak about any questions or issues that we might have. And also to be able to ask questions related to candles that are completely unrelated to what we were learning in the course. Like, for example, when I was thinking about getting my wax melter, like that was something I was able to come to the group about and get opinions and advice. And I just, yeah, found it really beneficial. So much support.
That's so good to hear. And it's something that is always a big part of me creating the course, was to provide that support where, yes, you can go to the generic Facebook groups and find support there and ask your questions. But, and I'm sure you would agree, Sarah, that the type of response you can get from the general groups isn't always positive and supportive. So I wanted to create a space where people felt, or my students felt like they could be open and vulnerable and share and ask their questions and basically not get torn to shreds. So I'm glad that that was something that you found supporting. Did you find the course content overwhelming at all?
No, I didn't. There was a lot of content which was covered, but I think no stone was left unturned. You covered like everything, even things that I wouldn't have thought that I would have needed to know about running a candle business. But I think because of how much support was provided by yourself and the other students that were taking part in the course, I personally never felt like I was overwhelmed, because I knew that if I ever did get stuck or in a place where I just found like it was too much, I knew that I had people to turn to who would be able to help like get me through it.
That's right, because it's not just about the candle side of making the products and then marketing them. There's the mindset piece as well. And if you're feeling overwhelmed and you don't feel like you have support, that's not a nice place. It's not a nice place to be in. Whereas if you know you've got the support and you can ask questions and get advice and just vent if you need as well, that's something that was important to bring to the community as well. How did you manage your time, considering you do work full time as well? How were you able to attend the live lessons and the Q&A sessions each week?
Well, it did benefit me. The time that they were on being 7:30 meant I was able to come home from work and have dinner and freshen up before the course. But there was some times where I wasn't able to make the live sessions, which was where I did benefit from them all being recorded. So then I could watch them the Tuesday night or the Wednesday night before the Q&A session on the Thursday. So yeah, having it recorded did really benefit me.
I love that. And I love that it's such a simple thing to do. Like you just push record before you start the lesson. But the benefit is if someone is not able to attend live, or if you just want to re-listen to the content, you're able to do so. So thanks, modern technology, for that. So let's have a chat about some of the modules, or all of the modules actually, and what was covered. And let's see basically what you were able to take away from each of the different weeks of learning. So module number 1, we covered know your niche. Did you find that defining who your target market is was beneficial to you?
Absolutely. I think it allowed me to find my specific place in the market, and it also kind of just to me that everybody does have different target audiences. So even though there is so many candle businesses out there, everybody kind of is there for different people. So it did help with that. And it also helped me be able to get clearer on who my target audience is as well.
Yes, which is so important because when we start business, sometimes we think, I'll just make my candles and everyone will be my customer because everyone loves candles. But as we know, it's about finding your specific type of person, your niche, to then determine how you're going to market your products to them so that when they come across your products, it's an instant yes. It's not, oh, it's another candle business. They feel like you've actually created a product for them. And that's why it's so important to know your niche, which is what we covered in module 1. So module 2, we covered tools and apps. Do you remember some of the tools and apps that we covered?
I do, because I actually implemented some of them into my business.
Yay, I love that.
Trello especially has been like my saving grace. I am someone who loves a to-do list. I've got 50,000 bits of paper all over my desk, like things everywhere. So it was really good to be able to just get it all together and get it into a system where everything's together. I've got 50 different to-do lists, but they're all in the one system. So I'm not missing bits of paper. Like everything is just where it's meant to be. It makes it so much easier.
Yeah, that's right. And I think one of the benefits of going digital when we look at our to-do lists and our processes and how to streamline them is the fact that such a simple thing, but you can search for a specific keyword or a particular topic, and then that will sort the list for you rather than trying to find the information through the copious amounts of pieces of paper that we sometimes have with our post-it notes. So I'm so glad to hear that you've taken that one on board. Now, module 3 was social media and ways to sell, and we covered the different platforms that you can market your products on, but also, I guess, just reminding everyone that you don't have to be on every platform. We also covered the market stalls and wholesale as well. Did you find that module beneficial?
I did. The market guide was particularly good for me because I am doing my first market stall. So I didn't really know where to start. Like I thought I knew where to start, but just like going through the market guide and going through it in the module just really helped me to know that I have everything in order. So that's good. And also the social media content pillars too was something that I hadn't really thought of. I was kind of just like post a picture, make a caption, done. I had never really put too much behind the scenes thought into what goes into each caption and how they can all be different and how you don't want to sell your product in every single post. So I think that is definitely another one that I will go back and rewatch when I really start cracking down on my social media posting. So yeah, that one was beneficial.
That's good to hear. Now, module 4, we covered email marketing, and this module was probably one of the biggest ones because it's so important to to prioritize having an email list, having your customers and potential customers' email addresses to then be able to add value into their inbox on a weekly or a fortnightly or however frequently basis. Did you find that starting your email list was something, or growing your email list was something that was beneficial to you?
Yeah, so when I started the course, I didn't actually have an email list. It was just something on my to-do list that I didn't get to. I was like, it wasn't at the top of my priorities, but listening to the module made me realize like the potential sales that can come from an email marketing list and just that extra bit of connection that you can have with your customers and checking in on them. And I think it really showed me that email marketing is important, but there is a way like to do it correctly, not spamming. So yeah, it was good to know.
Yes, and it's so important to add value to our customers or our potential customers before we ask for a sale, rather than just sending out emails or just posting on social media and saying, here's my candle, buy it, here's my candle, buy it. So to be able to share that module was probably one of my favorites because I'm so passionate about the power of email marketing and, segmenting your list and setting up flows and campaigns and all the different things that you can do with email. It's such an underrated, powerful way of growing your business. And I love that we were able to cover that in the course. So module 5 was advertising, both paid advertising with like Google, social media, like Facebook and Instagram, as well as collaborations and doing competitions and giveaways. Did you find that module was something that was new to you?
It was, because obviously I am new, like new business. So I didn't have many connections out there. So I think it was good to know that you can have people that are like also candle businesses, but you guys can work together in a way that is mutually beneficial for both parties. So yeah, I think it's definitely something that I will be considering doing in the future.
And then module 6, we covered business boosters. So that was our customer growth booster and our social media content prompts, which is about providing yourself and the other students with daily prompts to help kick your business into overdrive. Did you or have you implemented either of those yet?
I haven't implemented them yet, but I have obviously looked at both of them, and I think it's definitely something that I will implement in the future once I do have my social media a little bit more consistent. But I think they both look great, and it's definitely going to be a good guide for down the track for something that I can implement into my social media that will just hold me accountable and help me stay consistent.
Yes, and that's definitely the key to growing business, no matter what business you have, but particularly with a product-based business, is being consistent, not only on social media, but sending emails to your list as well, so that people don't forget who you are. And especially with the algorithm changes as well, it's so important to have that consistency and build on that as you go each day. So how would you say the course has transformed or grown your business?
I would say, first of all, it's like transformed my mindset as a business owner. Like it really opened my eyes to things that I didn't even think of, allowed me to be more organized. It's just provided me with a lot of tools that I didn't know were out there. And it provided me with a new network of people who I know I can go to whenever I have questions. And I just feel that it's going to provide me with what I need to just keep growing my business how I want to grow it.
It's so lovely to hear that that's been your experience with the course, and knowing that even though the course only goes for 6 weeks, the support you receive is continuous, and you still can ask questions. You can still find that that supportive network that doesn't go away in between the rounds of the course, which I love. Is there anything that you learned that you weren't expecting?
I think definitely the social media side of it. I wasn't expecting that to be as in depth as it was. Like I said before, I really thought it was just kind of like take a photo of your products and post it with a caption. I didn't really think about the behind the scenes of like, and being able to connect with your customers through a caption. Like there was just little things like that that I just didn't expect. And also the importance of email marketing as well was something that I, again, just didn't know the importance of, for that. I do now know how beneficial it can be for your business.
Yes, definitely. So here's a bit more of a serious/important question. Do you think the financial investment of doing the course is worthwhile?
I do, because I believe that if you implement what is learned in the course, you will get that money back to you in sales. I think the course really sets you up and gives you all the tools that you need to implement into your business to just make it successful and have the slow growth, and that will then come back to you in tenfold. So I personally am glad that I invested in the course.
Did you have any worries or concerns about joining Candlecraft?
I was someone who was at the start like, oh, I am really new in the business. Like it's a fair bit of money to have to invest when I could be spending that on products. That I kind of just thought, like putting that aside, the knowledge that I will get from it will just make it all worth it.
Definitely. And it's about, again, that mindset shift of, to grow a business, you need to invest in your business, and that's both financially and with time. And looking at different ways that you can invest, whether that's doing a course such as Candlecraft, or whether it's doing more paid advertising. There are different ways that you can invest. And if you know that there is perhaps an area of your business that you're not as experienced in or not as skilled in, having someone that's been down the path before you to help guide you and show you the way can be a way to save time and money in the long term. So yeah, I'm glad that was well, I'm not glad that it was a worry, but I'm glad that worry was alleviated after you joined the course.
It definitely was.
So what would you say to anyone that's sitting on the fence or considering signing up to Candlecraft?
I would say just take the leap. It's such a good opportunity, and you will be able to make connections that you might not have had the opportunity to make if you didn't join the course. The knowledge that like you, Kirsty, share with us is just invaluable. Like all your little tips and tricks and all your little systems and just ways that you run your business that you share with us is just invaluable. Like I just I don't know where else you would get that, or where another candle maker would be that open to sharing that many details with people. So yeah, I would say do it 100%.
Thank you. And thank you so much for your kind words. I receive it with an open heart, and I appreciate the sentiment. So we've come to one of my favorite parts of the podcast, where I ask my guests 3 questions all about candles. Number 1, what is your favorite candle fragrance?
Oh, that's a tough question.
It is.
At the moment, I would probably have to say champagne and strawberries.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites, I reckon. It's just been my favorite for a long time, so stick with it. It's my favorite.
Number 2, what do you love about candles?
I love just the feeling that you get when you light a candle after you've just cleaned your room or you're having a bath, and you just get to light a candle, sit down. I personally love to read a book. So just being able to sit in my bed on the lounge, light a candle, read my book with a hot chocolate, it's like just the feeling that it just brings, it's unbeatable.
That sounds amazing. And I think I might do that after we hop off this call. And then question number 3, what is one piece of advice that you would like to give other candle makers?
I would say just don't be disheartened if things don't work out how you originally thought they were going to. It's definitely not going to be smooth sailing, and it's going to take some time to get things where you want them, but you just keep doing your research and give it another go, and eventually things will work out.
I love that. Such a positive way to look at the journey.
Yes.
Well, Sarah, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, advice, and thoughts and experience on not only candlecraft, but your business journey as well. For any of the listeners that would love to connect in with you, where can we find you online?
So on Instagram, mind_soul candle co, and my website is mindandsoulcandleco.com.au.
Perfect. So I'll pop those details in the show notes so people can click through and find you and say hello if they are new to Candlecraft, or if they just want to say hi. All right. Well, thank you so much again. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for listening today. I hope this episode added value to your candle making journey. Check out the show notes for all the links mentioned throughout today's show, and please subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any future episodes. Thanks again for listening. Have a beautiful day.